What's up guys, Volt here bringing you a brand new Fast and Furious car remake. In today's remake, I am bringing you the 1971 Chevrolet Monte Carlo driven by Sean Boswell in the Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. Now this car was a highly requested car. I'll put a couple of those on screen. Now that we actually got a car in game that actually works really well, I know it is a different model or different year of the Monte Carlo, but it is a Monte Carlo nonetheless, as well as it has decent customization for Sean Boswell's Monte Carlo. I thought I would bring this out and I think it turned out beautifully. I actually got a really good response from a lot of people, and people thought it was completely great looking, especially with the custom crew color I came up with. So we're gonna get right into it, and I just want to say that this car is interesting because the backstory was Sean Boswell was a high school kid, so like he was living with his mom, and you wouldn't expect him to have like a fancy muscle car like a Camaro or, you know, a Ford Mustang or something, like an old school muscle car. No, you would expect a, high schooler probably have like a beater car but drop a giant engine or a massive engine into it, like a monster engine. And that's what he did. So the original Monte Carlos back then, 1969 to 1971-ish, around that area, they actually had a 454 in them. But in the movie, and actually you can kind of see it a little bit in like the actual Hero 1 car, he actually had a different engine in, and it was also custom built for the movie. They actually dropped a 632 cubic inch V8 engine in this thing, and I just thought I would recreate this. This thing is a beast. So anyways, we're going to start off with the base price like we always do. So we're going to go over here. We're going to go and we're going to go to the internet. You want to go to the Travel and Transport website. You want to go down to the Southern San Andreas Super Autos website. And you want to go down and you want to find yourself the Declasse Tahoma Coupe, which is part of Los Santos Drug Wars DLC. Now, if you did not buy it when it was free, you're going to be paying a pretty hefty sum of $1,500,000. But if you did get it from the 16th to the 18th, so the 16th was a Friday to the Sunday, which was the 18th, you would get it for free, which I'm going to put right here in big bold letters. And hopefully you bought a few of them. I actually had to sell a few cars to get a couple of them because I was actually going to do a couple builds on this. But anyways, once you have your car and you have your color, meet us at the Los Santos car meet location. Again, I think the car turned out great. I really don't have much complaints on this thing. I think it looks really close to the actual one in the movie. Even though it is a different year, it still just kind of has that same feel to it. Without wasting more time, let's go and customize the beauty. So as you pull in, the Declasse Tahoma Coupe is in the muscle category. That should be self-explanatory. It is a Monte Carlo of some sort. Not sure exactly what year it is based on, but without it wasting more time, let's get right into it. So as I go over all my builds, I go over the overall look, the visual appearance, and the basic design, the car and how it's portrayed in the movie, game, or anywhere else in general itself. Anything I don't go over is completely up to you. I just put a few staples in on my build. If you want to recreate my build or take some things away from my build, you're more than welcome to. And without further ado, let's just get into the build. So to start things off, you want to go to bumpers, you want to go to the front bumper, and you want to put on the chrome bumper. He had a nice big chrome bumper on the front, and I think it does look really similar. It did have some big holes on the front, like around the underneath the lights and everything, but I mean, we can't get that. This is about the closest thing you can do. You don't want the like bars on the front there. It was just a nice smooth chrome bumper across the front like that, so I just went with the chrome bumper. After that, move on to the rear bumpers. You just want to go with the chrome bumper again. He did have a chrome bumper on the back, and I mean, other than putting the bars on the back, which he didn't have, you just want to have that nice smooth chrome bumper on the back. After that, move on to the exhaust. You want to go with the chrome side exit exhaust. Now, the main reason I say this is because it did have a side exit exhaust, except it was kind of like a straight pipe, and it had like an angular tip at the end instead of like this box design, as you can see here. But this is about the closest thing you can get that is on the side. Anyways, all the other ones are, well, I mean, this is on the side, but it's not on the side of the actual car, but like the side skirts area. For the most part, it's going to be coming out the back or anything. So the chrome side exit exhaust is the best option in my personal opinion. You don't want to go with the titanium. It definitely wasn't blue, it wasn't fancy like that, but I mean, it wasn't even chrome either. It was more like just like a bare metal, like maybe even aluminum type exhaust or something like that. But this exhaust here, the chrome side exit exhaust, is the best. Man, that's a tongue twister. From there, move on to the hood. You want to go with the secondary high cowl induction hood. It did have this kind of like hood scoop to the front like of the actual car, and it was like a primered out color of a hood. Like I said, it was just pretty much bare bones. The kid was like working on it as like a school project, maybe even like it was like a culminating project or something like that, if anybody remembers those. It was like, it did kind of look like this for the most part because it was pretty well raised up. It did have that little like increase in the middle and everything. It just looked pretty close, and this is about the closest one you can get for this build. So the secondary high cowl induction hood is my best choice. After that, move on to the lights. You want to go to headlights. You just want to keep them stock. It was an old style car, 1969 to 1971. So I would definitely keep the stock lights. They're the best option. I still think the stock lights are like a mixture between white and yellow. And it just gives that old style look if you don't need to do that golden shower. From there, move on to the neon kits. Neon lights gonna be none unless you want to put a pure black neon on. That's completely your call. But I mean, he didn't have neon on his car, so you don't need to add it. The pure black would just be invisible, and it would just give you better traction. And in a muscle car, sometimes you do need that, so it's completely your call if you want to do that. But I mean, if you want to recreate it more realistically, just add none. From there, move on to the livery. You want to go with none. Didn't have no fancy livery. Of just, like I said, high school kid car, like a project car type deal. It wasn't really all that fancy. It had a lot of sheet metal on it, just like a basic color on it, some big thick tires on it, a big massive engine. I mean, that's pretty much all he needed. The interior was pretty much gutted out too, other than a couple seats on the front, like the dash and everything. It didn't have no back seats, which is crazy. But I mean, overall, yeah, just go with none. From there, move on to the mirrors. You want to go with the stock mirrors. Unfortunately, you can't remove the mirrors. He didn't have no mirrors on his car, which is, I don't know if that's illegal in California or not, but I would say, yeah, stock mirrors is the best option because it kind of blends in with the car, and it's better than the other ones, in my personal opinion. So yeah, I would just go with the stock mirrors. From there, move on to the plate. You want to go with a blue and white 2, which is a California style plate. And you just want to put on the classic plate. Or if I actually find the custom plate that he has on his car, I will put it on screen right now. And maybe whenever we actually maybe get our plates with the 50 car garage combo, then I'll actually start adding plates to my cars again, which would be great. But for right now, I'm just going to keep my classic plate on with a blue and white 2. Same respray for last. We move on to the roof. You want to go with the secondary roof. You want to make sure you do have like a sheet metal type roof to it. Didn't have the holes or like any kind of like middle part like that. It was pretty much just sheet metal. So the best thing you could do is kind of go the combo of the primer color, which I use most of the time, which is rolled steel. Have it on the roof and the hood. Kind of gives the same kind of look to it, and it just fits really well, I think. From there, move on to the splitters. You just want to go with the stock splitter. Didn't have no splitter, so don't worry about adding that. After that, move on to the suspension. I mean, do you really need to lower it? No. It's a muscle car. Don't lower it. Don't be that person. Keep it stock. I don't need to say anything else than that. From there, move on to the turbo. I would personally add a turbo because, again, if this thing had a 632 cubic inch V8 engine in it, then I would highly recommend adding a turbo to get that power. Even if it had a 454 with like 360 horsepower in it, I would still add a turbo. So, I mean, a turbo, I believe, is mandatory. Like 100% mandatory. After that, move on to the wheels. You want to go to wheel type. You want to go down to the street category, and you want to put on the concave steely rims. Now these I think fit the best. They're not as like deep dish as his are, and they kind of have the same kind of design to it. Plus, you're also able to get that tire text on there. So I think they fit really well, and I think they look really well. They're also a kind of muscle car rim slash, you know, tire design to them. But the sad part is the tires are not thicker like the actual ones in the movie. It's the closest thing I could choose with what we are given in GTA Online. So the concave steely is my best choice. After that, move on to the wheel color. You want to go with black. Nice blacked out rims. Fit really nice with this car. Kind of just fit the vibe. You know, basic muscle car type look to it, you know. After that, move on to the tires. You want to go to tire design. You want to put on the Chappelle yellow tire design. Now, the main reason I say this is because he did have tire design text on his tires. They were yellow, kind of like a little bit more of like a faded out yellow. They weren't like as fancy as this, as clean as this. They were just like more worn in and everything. But you do want to go with a yellow. So there are a couple options you can go for. The other one you can go for is the atomic yellow, which again is a really decent viable option. But most of the time I use atomic for other things. I feel like the Chappelle or Chappelle yellow, however you say that, is actually a lot better and does kind of suit the Goodyear tires that he actually had on his car better, in my personal opinion. But I mean, I completely your call if you want to go with the atomic. I feel like the atomic text is a little bit closer to Goodyear in my personal opinion, but the Chappelle is just something I haven't used before, and I might just go with these. After that, move on to the tire enhancements. You want to just keep the standard tires. You're probably like, oh, it's Tokyo Drift. You got to add low grips to drift. No, it was not a drift car. It was more like a drag slash sprint type car. Pure muscle, just all out power. And yeah, it didn't have, I mean, it drifted because it probably couldn't keep control or traction or anything. But yeah, I would just keep either standard tires, or I know it is GTA Online. You're more than welcome to add both your tires on if you wish. And it's completely your choice. After that, move on to tire smoke. Go with the white tire smoke. I don't see a point in changing this. After that, move on to the windows. You just want to go with none. Again, I don't see a point in adding tint to this car. High school kid probably wouldn't have tint on his car, in my personal opinion. Especially, you know, living with his mom that's single and everything. So I don't expect it to have anything. I thought maybe it had maybe a light smoke to it. But no, I'll just keep it none. All right, and I'll see you guys in 2 seconds with a rolled steel primer color. All right, and we're back. As you can see, I have my car and my primered out rolled steel. Pretty much what I always do for all my builds. That way you know what colors I'm going to be using for the custom crew color as well as the LSC color. So we're going to start with the LSC color first. So you want to go to your primary colors here. You want to go down to the metallics, and you want to go down to the bottom, and you want to go up here to the bleached brown. And you want to apply that just like that. So his color was a kind of mixture of, it was mainly like a yellow, but it had in the actual movie, since they had a certain tint to the actual film and everything, it actually had like a more of a whitish type tint to it. Made it kind of gave it more like this kind of look to it, but the actual color of the car was yellow, like a kind of like more, you know, desaturated yellow, I should say. So yeah, the bleach brown is my best choice for the LSC color here. Then you want to go down to the pearlescence. You want to go up to the blacks. You want to make sure there is no shine on this, because you do not want a shine on this. There you go. That way you have no shine on your hood, your roof, any of the actual car. You don't want any actually shine to it. Then after that, we go back to the secondary color. You want to go down to the metallics, and you want to put on a rolled steel. And you're probably like, you already have rolled steel on. I do, because it's a primer color, and his hood was actually a primered out hood. Just a basic primer hood, and his roof was basic sheet metal. Also on the sides, as you can see, there is some like chrome trim on here. That also kind of gives the illusion of how his car was on the side. It also had sheet metal on the side as well. So that is kind of like a cool little note as well for the build. And it just kind of brings the car more to life. So there you go. That is the LSC color combo right there. I don't think it looks too bad, but again, you know me, I always love having my custom crew colors. I always love showing myself up on custom crew colors. I think I came up with a really nice custom crew color. Hex code will be on screen right now, and the color is going to change in 3, 2, 1. As you can see, more of a yellow hue to it, a little bit less of a white slash like basic brownish, like a light brownish kind of color to it. So as you can see, I'll kind of like swap between the two real quick. It's a lot more vibrant. It's not as dull as the bleach brown, and you just want to apply that just like that. Again, I think this looks the best. I try to make custom crew colors that look the best. I know a lot of people don't want to use them. That is why I also make the LSC colors as well as the custom crew colors, so you can choose between the two. Not everybody can use the custom crew color or know how to do it or want to join the crew or be a part of a crew or part of the family. So I can understand if you don't want to use it, but again, if you want to recreate the best looking way you can, I would highly recommend the custom crew color. Again, go down to pearlescence, make sure it is on black. You don't want that extra shine on there. Secondary color doesn't change. It is still going to be a metallic rolled steel. Now, the sad part is I wish I could get the matte color on the actual hood to be a little bit better. I believe Bad Sport probably went with a light gray matte just because the primer color was not shiny. You know, it's just basic like dulled out primer color, and light gray is just too dark in my personal opinion. A rolled steel and like a matte would be a perfect match. But unfortunately, we don't have that. Just go with the rolled steel. I think it looks the best. I think it looks the best for primer color, and I think it just works really well. Unfortunately, I can't get a different color for the roof. Otherwise, I would go to metals and probably put like a brushed steel on there, or maybe even like a brushed aluminum, somewhere around that area. After that, move on to the trim color. You just want to go with graphite. The interior, like I said, didn't really have too much interior to it. I don't think it had a back seat to it. It did have some like kind of basic like muscle type bucket seats to it, as well as just basic steering wheel, dashboard, and that is pretty much it. A decent shifter down there too. I think it was only a 4-speed as well, which is interesting. But I mean, overall, the car looked amazing. It was really cool. But yeah, graphite, best choice here. You know me, I don't really change it that much. And that is it. That is how you recreate the 1971 Chevrolet Monte Carlo driven by Sean Boswell in the Fast and the Furious Tokyo Drift. Again, I did have a decent bit of requests for this car, as well as, you know, not actually for this build here for this car, but it was for, I think it was a Sabre Turbo. But I just think this car fits so much better. I mean, it is a Monte Carlo. I have a custom crew color. The customization looks relatively close, if not almost pretty doggone spot on. It has decent customization for it compared to the Sabre Turbo or the Tampa or whatever else they actually wanted me to use. So anyways, let's go back to our parking spot. Now, seeing as we didn't see this car in the nighttime, I'm not actually going to do a nighttime spin. I'm just going to do a daytime spin. As you can see, the color isn't all that yellow, but in the dark, or like a little bit more of the shadows, it does have a bit more of a yellow hue to it. For right now, it kind of looks more like, almost like a bleach brown. I think my custom crew color turned out great. You guys can let me know what you think down in the comment section down below. So anyways, let's go for a drive. I think the car sounds great too. It handles pretty good. It's pretty fun to drive around, and I mean, it's free. So if you didn't pick one up, I do feel bad for you. You'll have to pay the 1.5 million. Really, really cheap car, really easy build, and it's a really, I don't know if it's an iconic car. It's not as iconic as like Dom's Charger or something, but it is a car that a lot of people wanted, and I thought I would bring it out. So as I'm on my way over to the development to end the video, I'll just say it like I always say. That's pretty much going to wrap up the video. So hope you guys did enjoy. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit the notification bell, leave a comment down in the comment section down below for what build you'd like to see next. Also, links are down in the description below for my crew, which is free. You can join or leave at any time you want. And you can also request custom crew colors to put on. Also, Twitter and Discord are down there as well. Follow me on those and join up in the Discord. Chat it up, ask questions, give feedback, give suggestions, all that kind of fun jazz and fun stuff. Let me know what you guys think about the build down in the comment section down below. But I mean, with all that being said, I hope you guys have a great day. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. Thanks for all the love and support, as always. And I hope to see you guys in the next one. Catch you guys later. I'm out. Peace.